Hey guys, I'm Tucker Marshall, and today I'm going to be talking about Mildred Ratched from the Netflix series Ratched. So first off, who is Mildred Ratched? Mildred is the main character in the Netflix series Ratched, and her pronouns are she, her, and she identifies as a female. She is a nurse at Lucia State Hospital in Northern California, and the time it is set in is 1947. Her sexual orientation has yet to be clarified by the show, but I grouped her as a lesbian because she is referred to as such by members of the cast, and the storyline appears to hint more so that she is a lesbian versus a bisexual woman. A good example of this is when her friend Huck asks her out, and she tells him that she's come to understand that she's a woman who prefers the company of other women and not men. Yeah. So her love interest in the show is Gwendolyn, and she's right here. And so throughout the show, we see Mildred start off alone, and then she meets Gwendolyn, and they kind of flirt a little bit, and then Mildred decides to sleep with this dude for whatever reason, and all she does is think about Gwendolyn the whole time and kind of starts this internal battle with herself. And then eventually, she admits to Gwendolyn that she likes her because Gwendolyn was the one who initially pursued Mildred. And then they become a thing, and then they argue, and then they're still a thing. And so that's the gist of her journey with her relationship. Yeah, so now we're going to talk about the narratives and tropes within Ratched. And these are only some, like there are definitely more, but these are just like a few that I found. So the first one off the bat is the torture trope. And this goes back to when she was sleeping with that man, and she kept thinking about Gwendolyn. This set off like this whole like internal battle and just caused so many problems within herself because she just liked Gwendolyn. And so right here with the green women kissing, that is when she is basically fantasizing about kissing her and starting this whole like, oh no, journey, I guess. I don't know how else to put it. Then she also has the closeted trope, which is, it makes sense for the time period. It's 1947, and being gay was either a crime or disease. So, of course, throughout the show, once her and Gwendolyn start dating, they're definitely in the closet, although eventually they do come out. They come out to two people. We see Mildred come out to Huck, right here, this dude. And he is the friend earlier that I mentioned that asked Mildred out, and then she told him that she's the kind of woman that prefers the company of other women, and I don't know, they just kind of became a cute little team, and they helped free patients that were being treated for lesbianism. Solid character. Anyway, and then she also comes out, well, her and Gwendolyn, I guess, come out to this character right here, Betsy Bucket. They don't show how this happened, but at the end of the series, all three of them are hanging out in Mexico, and her and Gwendolyn are being a couple, and then Betsy Bucket's like, yes, we love that. Anyway, she also has another trope. It's the incest trope, and this right here is a little like picture I found of that. But the gist of it is that when she was a child, her and this little boy that weren't related were both orphans, and then one of their social workers marked them down as actual siblings because they didn't want them to get separated. And so they got placed at this wonderful family that had tons of money, and then those people started making them perform sexual acts onto one another. And they were children. They were like 10, 12, you know. And they charged other people to come and see it. It's a pretty rough story. If you want to watch it, there's a clip on Netflix that'll explain it in detail. I'm not going to go there. Anyway, So now I'm going to talk more about the history in regards to the show. So California is definitely a more progressive state, and same-sex acts were made legal there in 1976. Such acts, however, weren't legal in regards to the federal government until 2003, with same-sex marriage being legal in 2015. And until 1990, homosexuality was classified as a mental disorder. And then during the 40s, lesbianism was seen as a mental illness. And there were supposed treatments / cures for it. And this was really only provided to women, occasionally men, as men were actually prosecuted for being gay, whereas women were just classified as insane and then typically sent to an asylum or a mental hospital. But some of these treatments for lesbianism were hypnotherapy, lobotomies, heat therapy, and then being forced to watch heterosexual pornography or pornographic images. And there was definitely much more, but I don't want to go into detail because that's gross. Over the years, though, the fear of homosexuals became stronger, and it ended up leading to the Lavender Menace scare in the 1970s. As far as historical accuracy, I'd say the show's okay. They definitely, I guess, follow the rules of what that time was, albeit sad. So, yeah.